This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now, new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
When you're out on the road, the last place you want to be is on the road. But if the unfortunate happens, you'll be glad you were wearing diamond gussets.
There's a place down in Tennessee where they make blue diamond gusset jeans. They so pride in every stitch, guarantee you love the way they fit. They put a diamond gusset in the crotch where you need it most. Blue diamond gussets got it, others don't.
We turn jeans inside out. Diamond gusset jeans, made in the USA with unparalleled quality. Our Defender motorcycle jeans combine gusset comfort with Kevlar protection, so you can ride all day with confidence. Order yours at gusset.com. Diamond gusset jeans got it, others don't.
The folks at eFoods Direct have saved you from the huge price increases on food by buying raw materials ahead and packing your supplies themselves. They haven't increased their prices on great long-term food reserves since last year. With the rising cost of raw materials and gas prices, they can't hold off any longer. As of July 1st, eFoods Direct is forced to increase their prices so they can still ship you the best storable food on the planet. Until the end of June, you can lock in the cost of your food at last year's prices by calling 800-409-5633. Your time is running out to build your supply with the best food on the planet at last year's prices with eFoods Direct. Call 800-409-5633. Prices go up at the end of June. Go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Call 800-409-5633 or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want to stop tyranny? Well, so does he. Live from the Infowars.com studios, it's Alex Jones.
You know, I talk about news coming in so fast we can't even cover it anymore. And I know that Matt Drudge, because he's tweeted it, is a listener of the radio show, and I rarely ask Drudge to link to something because he already links to us so much. It's more than I could ever even ask for. I mean, it's literally like, the god of internet, Zeus, throwing down the lightning bolt, and giving it to man. There is no bigger news site. There is no site that drives and sets agendas like Drudge. And he is fighting the TSA. He is exposing the world government. I mean, he literally has done more for the movement against tyranny than any other source I can think of because he's legitimized our reportage, other reportage. He links to European mainline news about world government. And he's forced mainline conservative radio to start admitting this stuff in the last 3 years. And the Fox pundits and the rest of it. And the fact that he's breaking the back of the TSA with the rest of the citizenry together. I'm not going to get into it, but I may even reach out on this if I need to during the next break because this news that I just read during the break is so big. It's been out for 30 minutes. It's at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. And it turns out in the article, and so even if Drudge links to us so much, he's welcome to link to TG Daily, or obviously EPIC, the Electronic Privacy Information Center, got the documents. WUSA TV in D.C. is covering it. It turns out in Boston and with 4 other airports since 2003, they've had body scanners, and it turns out, this is just so off the chart, that they've known all along that it was giving them cancer, and that they went ahead and ordered them for all the rest of the major airports, 214 nationwide. And here's the headline: Cancer surge in body scanner operators. TSA launches cover-up, and the documents have now been leaked. And they're confirmed to be accurate by EPIC that the TSA knowingly covered this up. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's even been in the New York Times. Top scientists who helped develop these systems came out and said the radiation, depending on the machine, is 20 to 50 times what they told you, and that it's not even so much people that go through it a few times a year. That's bad. But it's being around these. I mean, these put off more radiation than a dental x-ray. We've had radiologists on to break it down. And that's a dentist goes and gets behind a lead wall. When my dad does x-rays, or the dental assistants do, they go and get behind a lead wall, and they put lead shielding over your chest and genitals. And you notice the thickest part of the shielding goes over your waist, because that's thin skin to the testicles, and it can go right in. And as you would expect, they're getting testicular cancer, they're getting brain cancers. It's killing them. And again, this is all part of the plan. I've had top scientists on, like Dr. Busby, saying that many of the globalists in Europe know that radiation levels are going up all over the place, but they don't care because it reduces fertility. This is a plan. And there was a couple of former TSA people at the protest at the Capitol yesterday, one lady and one man. There was a Homeland Security ICE agent. He gave me his card. I looked him up. There he is. But he said, hey, I'm American too. I'm allowed to come protest. I mean, it blew me away. And they said, no, everything you said about the TSA is true. And they said, that they quit over it. But this is so off the charts. Cancer surges in body scanner operators. TSA launches cover-up. And there's no doubt this just came out. Watson ferreted the news and saw it in different regionals and put a boil-down article together. But I don't even care if, now that I think about it, Drudge doesn't even have to link to us. I'm sure he'll link to some of these articles. But cancer surges in body scanner operations. TSA launches cover-up. This is so huge. In fact, I can just get on my iPhone here right now, live, and get a little, I'll do it later. That's another radiation killer right there, where they knew 25 years ago what it was going to do. They're just giving us devices that kill us. But a cell phone compared to these scanners is nothing. But in the aggregate, it's like a cigarette. That's even what the EU's had to admit, their health ministers. Again, government doesn't have total control. It was the EU Medical Board came out a year and a half ago, 2 years ago now, and said this whole swine flu thing's fake, the vaccine's deadly. And then later that was confirmed to be true. We had the head of it, Wolfgang Wodarg, Dr. Wodarg, on to break it down. And the EU's also come out and said it's like smoking cigarettes. You do it over and over again, cell phones. It's in fact, they found in some of the studies it may be worse than smoking cigarettes. And then you add to it the GMO, you add to it the bisphenol A and other chemicals that are in the plastics. This is so incredible. I mean, we already knew this, but to have it confirmed that they cold-bloodedly know that it's a death sentence for all those people. This TSA thing is key in the whole globalist operation. It's about stomping on the states' rights. It's about training you to be a prisoner and to be humiliated and have your private parts touched. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I've talked a lot about this. I remember going on dates in high school and, taking a girl to the movie theater and, having them reach over and, touch on you, and it was electrifying. It was almost, it was all, you liked it, but it was also kind of freaky. Can you imagine what it's like to have people you don't know in a public setting grabbing you and actually squeezing? That's why they've had on record airline pilots, military veterans, U.S. troops coming home. having their space violated, having their basic humanity. And that's why troops have gotten angry and been arrested. They've thrown up. Airline pilots have had refused to fly and gone home. It's been in the news, and thrown up in their parking lot when they get home. And people are like, well, you're a wimp. No, it's because you're not a wimp that you can't handle it. It's your dignity. I mean, it's sexual assault. That's why under common law and common sense in every culture, you get killed for going up and grabbing on a woman or grabbing her genitals, in the woods out by the well 1,000 years ago. The town would get together and take you and have a trial and hang you high just for grabbing on a woman, because you don't touch people. This is about your personal space. It's about mating. It's about choices you make. You leave people alone. This is a big deal. So it's about 10th Amendment violating. It's about training us to be slaves. It's about getting in our person. And it's about creating an army of people. And we reported over a year ago and then had internal sources, and it was later confirmed in mainstream media, that they called TSA in and said, do you have a concern about radiation? And if you say yes, they give you a pink slip in 2 weeks. And don't even tell you why. They say it's a layoff, even though they're hiring. If you have a trouble groping people, you're fired. So it's kind of like panning for gold. They see people that are stupid or tyrants or pedophiles. It's a spectrum that they're panning for. They see all the people that are decent as like dirt, as rocks they want to get rid of. And the little gold chunks they're panning for in the stream of employees are the folks that'll do this. They're people that will sit there baking around the scanners all day long. And this story is so big and so huge, and everything else I've got so big and so huge, I don't even know what to say. I'm going to say it again. And it's all part of a conditioning process. This is psychological warfare. We're supposed to just learn that they, 11 years ago, signed a secret deal with major insurance companies, the Pentagon did, to take all the death benefits from troops when they die and don't give their widows or widowers the money that they paid into out of their check for decades. That's just hiding in plain view. Nobody gets in trouble. The big bank heads steal trillions. They don't go to jail. But then some low-level guy at Citibank steals $19 million because he stole from the bank. He gets indicted. And that's how they operate. Or they bust Blagojevich for engaging in standard corruption, boss hog stuff. But then when Kissinger openly says the U.S. policy is genocide against the third world, we're going to kill him, in State Department Memorandum 200, he's, oh, that's humanitarian. Or Holden writes books like this, and it's, oh, that's humanitarian. So the big flaming crimes, like huge bonfires of obviousness, that's not a problem. And they cold-bloodedly, because remember, it was 4 airports starting in late 2002 into 2003. You can pull those articles up. We're testing the body scanners. And so now they've got 7 years, in some cases 7.5, at Boston, Logan, and others, where these went in, where they have cancer clusters, and the TSA people that have worked there for years are dying. And it's like when, they go to a town, they wonder why everybody, people in a certain neighborhood have double, triple cancer, and it's more than that in these studies. They go, we better test the soil. And they go, oh, some company before this subdivision was built dumped dioxin into the soil. There was a factory here, and the developers didn't tell you. And you know about the Love Canal. There's thousands of these Superfund sites. Much of Houston is one. That's why Houston has much higher cancer rates per capita than any other city in the United States. New Orleans is next because of all the toxic waste that runs into the Mississippi from the Midwest and then down there. It's incredible. It's incredible. And there's this cutthroat attitude by the establishment that, hey, it's all social Darwinism, let everybody die. But then I see it even affecting the elites. It's what I mean. It's like a nihilistic, psycho, madman. This is madness. To cold-bloodedly know that with even just a few years of the scanners and in previous studies when they were developing, the government studied everything. 90% of research and development at universities is under DARPA alone now. An example, they knew bisphenol A combinations in major studies you can pull up in the 1940s. They were looking for a plastic liner that would reduce fertility but also male aggression. And then there's all these white papers on it that we've republished at InfoWars from the Rockefeller Foundation, UN, and others. And then they get it deployed, And then they even do rebates and things to factories and companies to then make